We're taking this bike down to the dealership right now. Get that first 600-mile check, oil change, and I've got a couple issues that need to be dealt with. Link in the description to the previous video where I talk a little bit about that. But we've got some neutral finding issues and some other stuff. But it's effing raining. Never rains out here, and figures that today would be the day that we get some wetness. There she is. Alright, just picked her up. Guess there was a loose cable, a loose connection that was keeping it from finding neutral electronically, so that got fixed up, which is nice. Nice and easy. There's nothing wrong with the brakes. I pulled them apart and took a look at them, and for whatever reason everything looked good, but they were squeaking, so I don't know if it's still... Seems to be a bit quieter now. I don't hear those rear brakes squealing. Don't have to worry too much now about the little metal bits from the motor getting all in there and causing damage. So we got that first bit of oil out. Before we get this thing out for a real test ride, now that it's got the first 600-mile tune up and oil change, there's a car show going on right up the street here that might be cool. Alright, that was a cool little show. Not a ton of cars, but the ones that were there were pretty nice. So let's get this bike into the mountains and see how she feels now that we've got some adjustments made to that quick shift and to the brakes. Rear brakes feel good. They sound quiet. They're not making that same noise. So the tech said they didn't find anything wrong, but just by taking it apart, the noise has been quieted down. And by adjusting or tightening the connection for the quick shift, they've actually fixed the pedestrian feeling quick shift down that I was complaining about in the previous video. Tell you what, the quick shifter, man, when it's functioning right, is really a game changer. Now that we got that first oil change done, we can take her over that 5,400 mile mark or RPM mark. I mean, I was doing that before, but now I don't feel bad about it. She pulls hard right up until that 7,000 RPM mark. Then you can feel the torque curve kind of start to fall off a little bit, but up until that point, she's pulling. I mean, right around 8,000 RPM, you feel it start to pull a little less, but not by much. Hey, the fucking pile of dirt, huh? Listen, you always got to be careful, especially out in these canyon roads. You never know what's around that next turn. There's a lot of inherent risk, like a pile of dirt that's poorly placed. So always keep your wits about you, and if you don't know the road, take it slow. And even if you do know the road, be mindful around blind corners and carry a little less speed than you think you could, unless you're at the track. That's my safety announcement for the day.
As I went down to the river to pray,